And that, my friends, is the sound of 1,000 hearts shattering, much like the fragile ego of our protagonist, Beth in Samantha Young's On Loverose Lane. A title, I might add, that sounds suspiciously like a rejected street name from a retirement community.
Then, Loverose Lane. Sounds more like Loserville Lane to me. I haven't read a page of this garbage. But that cover. Jude looks like he's about to either cry or punch a wall. And the girl, she's got that. I'm about to have a panic attack in a designer dress. Look. Pass.
Your Philistine sensibilities are showing. This is a nuanced exploration of second, chance romance, intergenerational trauma, and the Scottishness of it all.
Scottishness. Is that even a word? You sound like you've been hitting the single malt a little early today. Last I checked, you thought Wuthering Heights was a workout video.
That was Oni time. And it was a very intense workout video. Anyway, On Loverose Lane is supposedly a spin off of some other book series on Dublin Street. Sounds like a pub crawl, frankly.
Oh, I love a good pub crawl. Especially if there are hot, emotionally unavailable men involved. Which, judging by the cover, this book has in spades. So tell me, is this Callan guy the grumpy footballer? Is he worth the emotional baggage? Because I've dated enough men with mommy and daddy issues to fill a stadium.
Well, according to my extensive research, Callan is a complex character grappling with past trauma and a deep-seated fear of commitment, which, in my experience, is just code for man-child.
Bingo. And Beth, what's her deal? Besides looking like she needs a Xanax and a good therapist.
Beth is a successful businesswoman, plagued by anxiety and a crippling fear of failure. She's basically the poster child for functioning millennial meltdown.
Oh, honey, I relate. I once had a panic attack in a Target because they were out of my favorite brand of organic kale chips. It was a dark day.
I'm sure it was. But let's get back to the literary merits of this masterpiece. The author Samantha Young apparently intends for us to sympathize with these deeply flawed characters.
Sympathize. I'd rather diagnose them. Callan's clearly got avoidant attachment disorder, and Beth, textbook generalized anxiety disorder, with a side of people, pleasing syndrome.
Is not a substitute for a medical degree,
says the guy, who gets his literary analysis from Spark Notes.
Moving on. Let's talk about the supporting cast. Apparently, there's a whole ensemble of characters from the previous series popping up like unwelcome relatives at a Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, great. So, it's like a family reunion where you don't know anyone and everyone's judging your life choices. Sounds like my actual family reunions.
And Beth's father, Braden, apparently. He's some kind of hot dad, legend from the original series.
Hot dad. Is that a thing now? Because I'm suddenly feeling very uncomfortable.
According to the internet, yes, it is. And apparently, older Braden is even hotter than young Braden, which, frankly, defies the laws of physics.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. For research purposes, of course.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the fake dating trope.
Oh, I love a good fake dating trope. It's like playing pretend, but with the added bonus of potential real feelings and awkward boners.
This is a family-friendly show, mostly.
Relax. It's not like I said the F word. Although, judging by some of these quotes, it's a pent. Up need to have you come on my tongue so many times, I'd taste you there for a week.
Where did you even find that?
It's in the book. Page 273, I think. Marked it with a sticky note. This Callan guy has a filthy mouth. I approve.
Right? Well, despite the earthy language, some reviewers have praised the book's realistic portrayal of mental health.
Oh, yeah. Because I've also seen reviews that say it's boring and full of too many characters. One person even said it felt like it was written by a different author. Ouch.
Well, some people have no taste. I, for one, found the exploration of Beth's anxiety to be quite relatable.
Then, you, anxious. You once wore mismatched shoes to a black tie gala and didn't even notice.
That was a fashion statement.
Ooh, we've got a listener email. Dear Heartbook Radio, I'm a huge fan of the On Dublin Street series, and I'm so excited about On Loverose Lane. But I'm worried it won't live up to the original. What do you think?
Well, dear listener, as a literary expert, I can confidently say that, it's complicated.
It's a cash grab, honey. They're milking that nostalgia cow for all it's worth. But hey, if you like hot Scottish dudes with emotional issues, go for it.
That's not entirely inaccurate.
Another email. If Callan Keane were a sandwich, what kind of sandwich would he be?
What? That's absurd.
I'll take this one. He'd be a haggis egg and cheese on a burnt croissant. Spicy, messy, and probably bad for you. But you can't help but want a bite.
I think I've lost my appetite.
Okay, time for the rating. On a scale of 1 to 10 broken hearts, how many hearts do you give on Loverose Lane?
I give it a solid 6.5 broken hearts. It has its moments, but it's ultimately a bit underwhelming, like a lukewarm cup of tea on a rainy Scottish day.
6.5. You're being generous. I give it 3 out of 5 awkward boners. Entertaining, but ultimately forgettable, like that one. Nightstand you had in college. The one you pretend you don't remember.
Must you always bring it back to that?
Just keeping it real.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Join us next week when we'll be discussing The Existential Dread of a Left-Handed Lobster Fisherman by Bartholomew Q. Snodgrass III.
Sounds thrilling. Can't wait to not read it.
I need a drink.
Don't forget to rate and review. And remember to listen to Heartbook Radio.